Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, Bob Arum, the Bob father himself, Top Rank, he came out recently and he stated that, they're going to make the big, three belt unification at Madison Square Garden. They're looking to make that fight between him and Joe Smith Jr. late June, Madison Square Garden. I gotta say, man, if this comes true, if this comes to fruition, if we get this fight in late June, well, you can mark it on your calendar. Your boy BT will be there. It's been a long time since I've been to New York City, and this is the exact kind of fight that I would go to New York City for happily. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, people are gonna have some issues that the fight's not being made earlier, but with Beterbiev being of Muslim faith, he doesn't box on Ramadan ever. So I think Ramadan's from early April to I think early May or early June or something like that. Anybody who's Muslim can let me know in the comments down below. I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but it's somewhere like that because I have Muslim friends. But anyway, yeah, it's a fight that needs to happen in the light heavyweight division. Dmitry Bivol has had the WBA title for a long time. We know that Bivol was elevated to WBA champion. We haven't got the fight with him and Beterbiev for whatever reason. But I think this would be an explosive fight, him and Joe Smith Jr., especially when you consider the fact that it would be in New York City, where you have a big Russian contingent, and obviously with Joe Smith Jr. being from New York City, it'd be a great fight because, Artur Beterbiev is one of those fighters, man. He's got a great blend of boxing skills and power and physical strength. He can beat you up and box you up, and he can box you up and beat you up. So seeing that style on display with a guy like Joe Smith Jr., who's a blue-collar guy, he brings his lunch pail to the ring every time he fights and leaves it all out there. Seeing that fight happen would be great because we know a lot of times when these guys come to fight Beterbiev, they're not coming to hurt him. They're coming to box him or try to outbox him. And Joe Smith Jr., for good, bad, or indifferent, in this fight, whenever it comes off, is going to come to knock his block off. And look, people can say what they want about Joe Smith. They can say he's not the most skilled. They can say he's not this and he's not that. But one thing we know about Joe Smith, come hell or high water, Joe Smith Jr. can punch. And we know that Beterbiev, that chin, if you touch it the right way, it's a bit suspect. He's been dropped a couple times in his career. I think the last time he was dropped was against Callum Johnson. So I want to see this fight. I want to see Joe Smith Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev because, Beterbiev is getting up there in age quick. He's 37 years old already. People are just slowly starting to catch on to what Beterbiev brings to the table. And this would be another chance, another signature fight for him, because truth be told, Beterbiev's beating some good fighters at light heavyweight. He's beating Callum Johnson. He's beating, Marcus Brown most recently. He's beating a Hot Rod. He's beating some good guys at 175. But the really only signature fight he's had so far was that unification fight against Alexander Gvozdyk, who was part of the 2012 Ukrainian Olympic team. And, a lot of people, self-included, were picking Alexander Gvozdyk to beat him. But we saw Artur Beterbiev punish the nail Gvozdyk, and not just beat him, not just outbox him, not just beat him up, but make this man retire from the sport prematurely. So Beterbiev's already shown in his career that when the lights are the brightest, when push comes to shove and the stakes are the highest, that's when he performs his best. So I want to see this fight. And for Joe Smith Jr., this is a guy that's fought up and down in competition, has won fights as the underdog most of his career. But then he had the fight with Vlasov that some people thought he lost. And I think, while Smith has given us some good moments in the sport, Smith's still, I think, looking for that really, 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 really big signature fight at the championship level, because he's had those fights, when he was a contender. Now can he have those kind of fights at the championship level? As far as the hardest punches at 175, this is the biggest puncher at 175. When Beterbiev, a guy that at the championship level of boxing has the highest knockout percentage you could possibly have at 100%. And then Joe Smith Jr., still number one and number two. As far as the hardest punchers in the division, to me, it's number one and number two. And you can't do much better than Joe Smith versus Artur Beterbiev. So my fingers are crossed that this fight comes off I will go to this fight. I would love to go to the Garden. I've never ever gone to the actual Madison Square Garden arena for a fight. I've gone to the theater. Like, I saw Terrence Crawford fight at the theater years ago against Hank Lundy, but I've never actually gone to the arena. So fingers crossed if Bob Arum and Top Rank get this one done. Add this to the list of fights we're going to be going to over the next 3 to 4 months here on True School Sports, getting you guys that world-class content. Right now, we're just chilling. Like, right now, we're just in the backyard, which, by the way, it needs to get cut real soon, and so does the hair. But, you know, right now, we're just chilling here in South Florida, making our videos, getting into a nice little rhythm before, you know, the 2022 really starts come March when we go to the Cholatito fight. But, yeah, for June, this gets done. New York City, we coming. The untouchable True School Sports Empire will be back in the Big Apple. So, yeah, that's the news. Bob Arum saying that they're going to make Beterbiev versus Smith in late June. So we'll definitely be following the developments to see if this gets finalized with a lot of intrigue here on True School Sports. But you guys, give me your thoughts down below. Who do you think will win the fight? Do you got Beterbiev, which I know he'll be the favorite going in because he's never lost. He's got the knockout percentage. He's better. You know, he's just the better fighter, honestly, on paper. Or are you gonna go with, you know, Union Joe, who we know is gonna bring his lunch pail. He's gonna go in there and try to knock this dude's block off. So let me know what you guys think. Who you picking? Do you want to see the fight? And yeah, all that stuff down below, leave it down there. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.